Hi, welcome back to Feminism on Trial. I just want to tell you guys a little bit about what I did while I was taking a break from the channel. I want to just share a little bit with you about what I did in real life. And I think it's really important for MRAs to do this. And specifically, I'm talking to like the two women that probably follow this channel, because most of the women that follow this channel hate me or watch the channel. They don't follow it. Hate me. And I don't think this works as well with men, but in some scenarios it might. So I found myself using Uber quite a bit during the last, say, 6 months or so. I encountered were men, and most of them were middle-aged. And these are the ones with whom I had the most interesting discussions. I wish I had written down immediately what inspired me to open up and sort of try to reach out to these men. It was, I guess, a gut feeling, something little that they said that made me think, aha, I can be helpful here. So they would say something that would make me realize, I think I can contribute to this person's life by sharing some truth. Truth that they already know, but are doubting themselves. So what I would do is, I think a lot of times it started with the whole security camera thing. You got to be careful because it only takes one false accusation sort of, and they're like, oh yeah, I know, blah, blah, blah. And then the conversation would progress and it would get to the point where I would say, well, just so you know, I'm an MRA. And I had to say what that stood for in each scenario. Men's rights advocate. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't drive off the road in several of these scenarios because of the shock, right? Like, what? Excuse me? Looking back at me like, what did you say you are? I could have said I'm a pink unicorn and probably wouldn't have been as shocked. So I said, I'm a men's rights advocate. So, I'm a member of the National Coalition for Men. And they're like, a what now? And I'm like, yeah, they didn't even know that such organizations exist. And I started to explain, what an MRA is and what kind of things we speak out against. And they were, once they got over they never got over their shock, but once they were able to have another thought in their head besides shock, they, I could sense that they were so relieved because these guys, one of whom was like, yep, I'm done. I don't date anymore. He was probably 50. He was not, he could still date. He was not, I guess I'll use the word incel. He was not, he could date. He definitely could. I need to stop shaking the phone every time I nod my head. I'm sorry. So he could definitely still get a good quality, well, not a good quality woman, because where are they? But, he could get an attractive woman, we'll say. He said, I'm done. I said, you know what? You're MGTOW. And he said, what? Of course, he didn't know what that was either. So I explained. I said, well, that's when you're a man and you've just decided, I'm out. I'm done. It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. It's not worth the heartache. It's not worth, possibly getting half my stuff taken away from me. And this one, I'd like to focus on this one particular guy because he was the most open and we had, the best talk. And maybe it's because I was just coming out of the hospital and I had steroids. So I was also, a bit motor mouth too, and a little bit of steroid courage was there. So anyway, yeah, it was the best of all the conversations. And I told him, I was afraid because he was like, yep, I'm out, and I'm done with it, it's fine. And I said, I get it. I explained MGTOW to him. He seemed like, oh yeah, I'm not crazy. And I'm not alone. I'm not alone in thinking this. I'm not alone in these experiences, right? Of just not finding a good quality woman and it's just not worth it. It's just not. So I said, okay, But let me at least say this to you, sir. There will probably, more than likely, come a time where you will see this woman that is beautiful and seems different from all of the others. She's sweet, she's feminine, she seems to get you. It's probably going to happen where you think you found someone like this. Just continue to remember what you're thinking now, and if you do lose your mind and decide to go forward with this, the litmus test is, ask her if she would ever consider getting married without a state contract. I know this confuses people. How can you be married without a state contract? Well, what does the government have to do with two people's relationship in the first place, is my question back to you. Makes no sense. That makes no sense that they would be involved in the first place when you really think about it. Anyway, I have another video on that, probably 20, 30 videos back, but I do. I said, if she will not marry you, make that commitment, make that religious commitment, that spiritual commitment, whatever it is for you guys, if she won't make that covenant with you and drop a contract between the two of you, no government people involved, then run, don't walk. That is the litmus test. So, I will never see that man again. And I don't know what will happen in his life, if he will lose his mind one day and decide, oh yeah, I think I'm falling in love with this woman. But hopefully something I said was helpful. And if not for him, maybe he'll say to one of his buddies, I met the weirdest lady in my Uber the other day. You'll never believe what she said. And there was another Uber driver that had more of a court battle in his history and a messy divorce. And, at the time, he just felt like there were no resources, and there might not have been for him. I mean, this is all, it's only starting to move now. The men's rights advocacy is only starting to gain some legs now. But there are organizations out there that can help direct you to legal help, psychological help, just other people that have been through it, so you can hold on and not, think about blowing your brains out. Because honestly, let's be frank, it happens a lot, and this is one reason it happens a lot, and it needs to stop, and I want to help stop it. So, I told this guy, please go home, Google this. I knew he wasn't going to remember verbatim, and we didn't have paper, I was like, go home, Google it, Google men's rights associations. They are out there. There is help out there. There is support out there. And again, even if he was past the time of needing it, I'm sure he has friends. You got to spread the word any way you can. And while I was on a hiatus dealing with my health and everything and trying to get stronger and just literally being too weak to even get ready for a video like this, let alone sound coherent, I wasn't out of the game. I never will be. I will always speak up for you guys. Always. I will always do whatever is in my power and whatever I'm asked to do to help you. I just don't think that I could live with myself if I didn't. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't. What I know now, after, peeling away the onion and getting closer and closer to the truth of how feminism has destroyed our society and is destroying men in every way it can, I'm going to speak out. I'm going to fight. And I'll do it however I can and however I am asked. I'll do it. So please like, share, subscribe. Let's get the word out to as many people who will listen, to as many people who might be ready to receive this. You can share it. You know, it might be easier than having the conversation. Just let me do it. Just send me out there and be like, listen to this crazy lady. Isn't that insane what she's saying? You know, let's spread it. Let's spread it. And it's a lot harder for you guys to do it because, you know, women and these feminist men are just like, oh, you're toxic. You're toxic masculinity. You weren't hugged enough as a baby. You were blah, blah, blah. You know, you're part of the problem. You just want the patriarchy. Well, I'm a woman and I'm saying this. So let me do the talking then. See if that helps. See you next time.